Hi, this is another episode of Fitness Dummy, and I just wanted to kind of rant a little bit about how I'm kind of sick of, seeing people that have never been fat try to give, fitness and exercise advice. I mean, they can maybe give exercise advice, but when they try to give you weight loss advice, it's kind of like unless you've ever been fat, then you can't give weight loss advice. I'm tired of these people. I want to say it, people who are usually fruitarians. They were probably never fat to begin with their life, like ever. And you have people like Durian Riders, not to call him out or anything. He's actually really, I like watching him because he's entertaining. But just be like, I'm a raw vegan, and I'm not fat. I don't think you ever were fat. That's kind of my thing. Like so many fruitarians are people who are already skinny, and they just can eat fruit, and that's fine for them. I mean, that really, some people, that works for them, but for a lot of people who are prone to get fat, then it doesn't really work for them at all. It just makes them fatter, because it's kind of, a lot of people are, they're sensitive to sugars, and it's easy for their insulin to kind of get elevated up to a higher level, and of course everyone knows elevated insulin levels kind of contribute to packing all that stuff in your bloodstream into your fat cells, because insulin is a storage hormone, and it pretty much trumps all of the other hormones that are active, like yeah, every single one of them. So it's just, really irritating, and I don't know. Like if you've never been fat, then you shouldn't be really giving weight loss advice. And a calorie is not a calorie. Oh man, what your body does with calories is completely different than, like, say if you eat a calorie of protein, a calorie of fat, and a calorie of sugar. Your body does different things with those. They metabolize them differently. Your body breaks down fat differently than it does sugar and protein. And just say if you're not eating some of another, say if you're not eating a lot of, sugar, your body actually gets to skip a process, because there's a whole chain of events that happen to where your body breaks things down into ATP, and I'm pretty sure glucose has to have more steps, and then fat's kind of in the middle, and then protein's at the very end where it just has to break apart one atom. Just break apart the molecule in a certain way to get, the ATP. But just your body metabolizes things differently, and some people do really good with, high fruit diets, and some people can eat anything and they probably don't get fat. But for people who do usually get fat, then pretty much carbs are what they want to stay away from. I mean, some people, they can count their calories and be fine, but the thing is, when you count your calories, you're not always guaranteed, where those calories are going to come from. Sometimes they can come from your fat stores, sometimes they can come from muscle tissue. I mean, you don't know. And eventually, if you don't eat long enough, those calories will come from your organs. You'll eat your body. So I think kind of where your calories come from is a big deal. And that's why a lot of people don't realize that when you aren't eating, if you do, like if you're eating a low-calorie diet, you should lose weight unless your insulin levels are elevated. Then it's called semicellular starvation, because it's packing everything into your fat cells and your body's hungry, but there's so much insulin in your bloodstream you can't draw anything out, and you're literally starving on the cellular level. That's why you feel weak and your metabolism actually starts slowing. There's a lot of debate about that. Some people say your metabolism doesn't slow. Some people say it does. Personally, I think if your body can actually regulate itself the way it's supposed to, then your metabolism won't slow down. But if you are a sugar eater, then your metabolism will slow down, because you have no sugars to pull from. And it takes a while for your hormones to get regulated, because the weight loss game, it's all about hormones. It's all it is. If you have a weight imbalance, it's a hormone imbalance. Hormones regulate everything. They up, down your metabolism, where your food goes, sex hormones. It's just what you do with your energy. Hormones run the body. And your body is not a machine. It's not calories in, it's not calories out. Yeah, hormones rule the fat loss game. Game of Thrones, Hormones win. Hormones are king.